Right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the SECOORA Data Challenge Kickoff webinar. My name is Abby Wakely, and I'm SECOORA's Communications Specialist, and I will be facilitating and moderating the webinar. All participants will be in listen-only mode. You can type technical questions or questions for the presenter in the bottom left-hand chat box. I will be monitoring the questions during the webinar, either responding to them directly or posting them to our presenter. We are recording the webinar today and we'll be posting the recording along with the PDF of the presentation on the SECOORA website. I'm going to go ahead and pass over the controls to our presenter, Deborah Hernandez, who is SECOORA's Executive Director.
Hi, folks, and let me echo Abby's welcome. We at SECOORA are very excited to launch this data challenge. It's new for us, so those of you that are going to be participating, you will be our inaugural group of data challenge participants. So hopefully you heard Abby give the introduction, let you know to post questions in the chat box, and I'm going to jump on into the rest of the presentation. So I'm going to cover a little background on SECOORA and then spend the rest of my time giving you hopefully all the details you need to participate successfully in the challenge. We have the schedule, some information about the template and how to enter, as well as information on the categories and prizes. SECOORA's mission is to observe, understand, and increase awareness of our coastal ocean, promoting knowledge, economic, and environmental health through strong regional partnerships. You can find out more about us on our website. We are a member organization and a nonprofit. We span the 4 coastal states of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida, and our priorities are around observing and collecting data and information on the coastal ocean, and then making that available in ways that meet the needs of stakeholders. So for this data challenge, we have 3 categories of eligible entrants: undergraduates and graduate students. So those are 2 different categories. And then the 3rd category is the public. It can be an individual or teams of individuals, and we're looking for proposals that utilize existing open data to develop innovative data visualizations, applications, products, or data synthesis products that support communities and stakeholders. And the winning projects will be featured on our website. So as I mentioned, one of our main goals is to integrate a variety of coastal ocean data, not just physical oceanographic data, but biological and other demographic information, again, to meet the needs of users. So we are hoping that those of you that participate in this challenge will be helping us to achieve that goal by coming up with new ways to use and integrate data to tell stories. The proposal should focus on providing communities, other users, recreational users, or natural resource managers with innovative methods to access and visualize data. Again, we want you to use publicly available data. We have a great deal available via our data portal. And we ask that the projects be in one of 4 themes, which are very broad. The first is ecosystems, which includes living marine resources and water quality. The second is coastal hazards. The third is marine operations, which includes information related to safety and weather forecasting. And then lastly, climate variability. So the goals of the challenge are to inspire a broad audience to engage with SECOORA, to use technologies, tools, and other things to creatively visualize and use data, to encourage the use of some of the data resources that are available directly from SECOORA, and also to encourage students and young professionals to develop competitive proposals. As I mentioned previously, there are 3 categories of eligibility: undergraduate, graduate, and other. Each category will have one winner eligible for the $2,500 prize. In the undergraduate category, and again, teams are encouraged but not required, and for all 3 categories, applicants or team members must currently reside in the United States. So in the undergraduate category, you need to have an advisor and a mentor, and you need to use at least one data set downloaded from the SECOORA Data catalog. We have the same requirements for the graduate category, except that it's a graduate student or team. And then in the other category, the only requirement is that you use one data set, and again, everybody participating must reside in the United States. The SECOORA Data Portal, which can be found at portal.secoora.org, has a great deal of data and information searchable via the data catalog. There's a YouTube tutorial. You see the link here on this slide that will explain how to access data and information. There's quick access via traditional searches on the catalog. You can quickly overlay data and visualize it in the portal. So hopefully this will make it easy to meet that requirement of eligibility, that you use a data set available from our portal. This is some of the details of what's required in your proposal package. We hope it's a fairly easy lift. The maximum page limit is 4 pages. You'll need a title. You'll need to specify your lead investigator or the primary point of contact, as well as any team members if you have them. The advisor information if you're in one of the student categories. The bulk of your proposal should be dedicated to the project description, which includes a statement of the issue to be addressed. That is, how would your product, tool, visualization be used to meet a need. Then you want to go into some details about your goals and objectives, how it fits into one of the theme areas, how it will benefit the region and who will use it, and then speak to your methodology, what technologies you'll utilize, and what data sets will be the foundation of your product. We also would like an appendix, just a page that outlines your schedule, what you need to do to get the project done. For your student submissions, we need a letter from your advisor that you're a student in good standing. We also need a resume or CV from the lead contact and the other investigators if you're on a team. And then for the student submissions, we would also like a resume from your advisor or mentor. The evaluation criteria are the same for all 3 categories. 25% of the points go to creativity and innovation, another 25% to the value of what you're producing to the Southeast Observing System. How will this product or visualization benefit use, understanding of coastal observing in the Southeast, 20% to technological or scientific merit, 20% to your methodology, and 10% to following the guidelines. This is the timeline, which hopefully will enable all of you to pull together great proposals. You can go ahead and register for the data challenge. This is optional, but if you sign up, you will get reminders of the deadline via email, and also be notified when questions are answered regarding the challenge. All the proposals are due about a month from today on March 22nd via email to abby@SECOORA.org, and just make sure you have in your title SECOORA Data Challenge proposal and which category you're applying in. We will do the judging between March 22nd and April 14th and notify winners shortly thereafter. And then we will have an award presentation at SECOORA's annual meeting, which will be in Melbourne, Florida on May 17th. And then we expect projects to be completed by the end of this calendar year, so December 31st of 2017. So that's the conclusion of my presentation. As a reminder, please register if you plan to participate. That way you'll get all the latest details and updates on the challenge. Questions should be submitted by March 1st. Those that come in after we'll try to address, but it's not guaranteed since proposals are due March 22nd, and we won't be putting out any information after March 1 that would substantially change what all the participants know about the project. So Abby, that's all I have, unless you can think of something I've missed. As Abby mentioned, information is on our website. You see the link, the URL there at the bottom of this slide. We will be posting both the slides and the recording of today's webinar. Questions?
Deborah, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for the great overview. We're now going to open it up for questions. I haven't received any in the bottom left-hand chat box, but since we're such a small group, I'm going to take us off the listen-only mode so folks can ask questions directly to you.
Great, thanks.
The conference is no longer in listen-only mode.
So if anybody has any questions, just go ahead and ask Deborah, and we ask you to please introduce yourself.
No questions.
Hey, Deborah,
well,
can you hear me?
I can, yes.
This is Marcel Reichert. You may have mentioned it, but in addition to the fact that anyone who applies need to be residing in the U.S., there are no other requirements. For instance, anyone can apply. For instance, people associated with SECOORA or the SECOORA board can apply.
Yes, yes. There are not any limitations. We wanted the other category to be as open and broad as possible.
Okay. Thanks.
We will be soliciting for judges.
Exactly. That was my next question in terms of the review of the of these proposals.
Right. So there will be both SECOORA members and non-members. Anyone who's a judge would have to not have a conflict.
Okay.
Not have a conflict, and so not be affiliated with any of the individuals or institutions that might be competing in the challenge.
Okay, thank you for that clarification.
Great question.
So we did have a question this morning through email where somebody asked who would retain the IP, the intellectual property, and we answered it and let people know that SECOORA would have the right to showcase the product on our website, but it must be recognized and linked back. For example, they provide on your product, you provide a direct link to the SECOORA website.
But the IP remains with the investigator, with the creator of the product. Well, this was pretty quick. Abby, if we don't have other questions, I say we close out the webinar and thank everybody for their participation.
Yeah, so if you guys have questions after the webinar, just go ahead and email me, abby@secoora.org, and I will answer them. And as I stated earlier, a recording of the webinar and a PDF of the slides will be available on the SECOORA website, which is secoora.org/data-challenge. And I want to thank you all so much for attending, and have a wonderful Wednesday.
Thanks, Abby. Bye, folks.
Thank you.
Bye.